Do you want to hear about a bold, advanced medical future? Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in today. You know, I say this every now and then, but I'm going to tell you unequivocally, today is one of my favorite all-time shows ever. And it's regarding BAMF. You know, what in the world is BAMF, B-A-M-F? Well, to talk about BAMF today, we have two of the leading executives from the BAMF organization in Grand Rapids, and that's Dr. Chang and Dr. Mancini. Welcome. Thank you for being with us today. I so appreciate you coming down. I first met you, Dr. Chang, at the grand opening of BAMF, B-A-M-F. We'll tell you what that means in a moment, 2 years ago. And I am just absolutely amazed at all that has happened in that period of time. I left that, and I've been around a long time. I'm older than I look. But I've been around a while, and it's very rare that my jaw just drops when I hear about things that are going on. And I can barely even talk about BAMF today without getting teary-eyed and optimistic and inspired. So before we go on, tell us what BAMF stands for, what it means, and a little bit about you, and a little bit about you, Dr. Mancini.
Thank you, Paula. It's our great pleasure to be here. So first, start from BAMF. BAMF stands for Bold Advanced Medical Future. So when we started, we promised the world the bold advanced medical future, and our mission is to realize that. So myself, I originally came from
Did you name it?
Yes, we named it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we wanted it easy to remember, but it has a strong meanings about it, and everybody in BAMF, we can remember that. My originally came from Taiwan, background is radiation medicine, and I came to U.S., studied at Yale, Vanderbilt, and the University of Texas, go for a graduate school, PhD in medical physics in this specific field. The reason I'm really passionate about it is really I see this is the very promising technology almost 20 years ago can really change the way we practice medicine, offer the patients early diagnosis, precise diagnosis, and treat patients very, very efficiently without causing significant side effect. And then that's, as time goes by, I was in academic center leading a imaging program and also an imaging center, and then still feel very frustrated that useful technology cannot get into the patients. And that's how I triggered me and motivated me to leave academia to focus on what really benefit to the patients. And that's how BAMF started.
And you are the CEO and founder.
I'm the CEO and the founder of BAMF Health.
And so your experience actually taught you there's more out there. The traditional medicine, the world of medicine wasn't enough. You knew that there was some other applications that were out there. And so how did you get connected? Tell us about your background.
Absolutely, yeah. So from a background perspective, I grew up in Metro Detroit. Went to undergraduate at University of Michigan Medical School at Wayne State, and then completed a residency at Yale in Connecticut in radiation oncology. So after graduating residency, I became kind of a standard clinical radiation oncologist in the Grand Rapids area, and that's where we met several years ago. And was practicing kind of everyday radiation therapy and treating cancer patients and trying to kind of continue to optimize the care I was delivering. And was very intrigued about things that Dr. Chang and I had talked about years previously, and seeing how medical innovation was evolving, and therapies were changing and technology was changing, really just being motivated and encouraged and excited to want to be a part of that journey.
And so when you talk about the innovation and the technology and the changes, so many times, and this is not, we're not criticizing traditional medicine, it saved a lot of lives, but something inside of you knew that there was more, and you just needed a place and a time and the resources to be able to do some research the way that you wanted to do it. Is that correct? And you talk about cancers. Which cancers? Talk to us about exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so this field is actually theoretically literally started tackling all kind of cancer, including blood type of cancer, and the cancer currently has no solutions. But the key issue is we need to start to gradually get the medical field into something called precision medicine, and that's what everybody was talking about. The issue is what's the definition of precision medicine and how are we going to get there? We want to make the patient with the right diagnosis and offer them the right treatment, the right type, the right dose. And then when we achieve that, we need a lot of brand new technology in order to acquire the right information, turn this information into useful intelligence, and then use this intelligence to treat the patient accordingly. Traditional medicine, like what you said, it's nothing wrong about it. We use the most advanced technology at that time.
Right.
But a lot of time we were educated is doing the educated guess, using the information and knowledge we have to predict which drug, which treatment is going to work to the patients. But is this patient belong to that right cohort, or is it in a different cohort? We have no idea because we don't have technology. Right now, we have this kind of brand new technology can acquire the right information to know exactly what kind of disease and the enemy we're facing. Then we should acquire it, and we use the right treatment to tackle that. Gonna make it a whole process way more efficient with less side effect, better outcome. And on the other very a good side effect is we can significantly lower the cost of treating patients on using unnecessary care.
And that precision, I mean, the lack of that precision is really what has negatively impacted so many people in the past, because you treat an area and then you kill the good, the bad, my understanding, and they're sick for a long, long time. That precision allows people to recover a lot faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the field in kind of the cancer therapy that we have kind of has this general term theranostics. And that's a combination of therapy and diagnostics, where you have advanced molecular imaging identifying a unique target that's present on certain cancer cells or in the microenvironment around tumors. And then you have the therapy that's literally engineered and created to only go and attach to that target, and then to safely filter out the rest of the excess medication from the body within a matter of hours. And so that precision, that ability to identify a target and a medication to only go and attach the target, is the reason why the rest of the body can kind of feel less effects from these therapies. And you have individuals with lots of medical comorbidities, whether it's heart disease or diabetes or more advanced other ailments, where they still qualify for these therapies because of that precision. It doesn't interact with other medications. It doesn't cause them to kind of change any lifestyle or day-to-day activities. And so it's really a medication of the future, and we're just in the infancy of this unique field.
So it's not just cancers.
Correct.
You can treat other heart disease, other areas of the body as well, not just different types of cancer. And you've had some tremendous success stories. I remember, was it 2 or 3 weeks that someone got the treatment and they were out golfing, and was it 2 or 3 days? This just blows my mind. I mean, people, those of you who know someone with cancer, or you're struggling with cancer yourself, this may not be for everybody right now, but it's going to be soon. And so you should be inspired, encouraged, and ask questions. Ask questions about what's available. Don't just automatically, Don't just automatically assume that you have to go through traditional methods of treating different types of cancer. So talk about some of the success stories you've had.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole technology, I'll talk about background of how this technology is. Literally, we have a lot of cancer patients, especially in the end stage of the cancer patients. They fail majority of the therapy, and their tumor are over their body. But at this phase, we still take prostate cancer, for example, and that's the major disease we're treating right now. There's no efficient way to really see where the tumors are, where the cancers are, how many are there, and what are they. So right now we have this kind of brand new technology. We can see the patients and tumor at a molecular level. So we know exactly what the situation we are facing. With this information, we have the targeted drug, like Dr. Mancini said, can directly go after every single tumor we see, and to burn those things out without hurting surrounding tissues, meaning we can actually treat those kind of cancer without causing any significant side effect. And so we have a lot of successful case on treating this kind of end stage cancer patient who literally have no other options. And there's the case you heard, I'll let Dr. Mancini to mention that, because that's his patients and he's the man behind it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, you've been slacking all your life. University of Michigan, Western, Yale, come on. So you've obviously learned something. Share that with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, absolutely. I think, as Dr. Chang was saying, I mean, you have patients who, with the current FDA approvals, this is a 2-year-old medication for prostate cancer in the United States. And so it's kind of like a 2-year-old child, right? A lot of growth and development to learn from. And so these initial patients that have been treated are those that have truthfully been through all viable options of therapy before they present, before this was FDA approved and before we existed and before this technology was available. And so you have plenty of patients that have come in, one particularly that was within, weeks of no longer being on Earth. And that's because of significant disease advancement and kind of what that was creating for that person's body. And so in that case, we were able to meet that patient, confirm that he was a candidate for therapy, and kind of move at a very fast pace to initiate that therapy within a matter of days of meeting him. And then that has set off a cascade of pretty amazing and remarkable turnaround where this gentleman specifically did not believe that he was going to see another Christmas, let alone 2 additional Christmases. And in the days before he met us in an initial consultation, he literally had family members coming from out of town to pay their last respects and say goodbye to him. And now he's thriving, he's playing pickleball, he's golfing, he's doing all the things that he always wanted to do and thought were no longer possible when he met us. And this is the amazing aspect of the technology and what this future therapy and current opportunities bring. And then just the Banff Healthcare model as far as the speed with which we make things happen, the tools that we have to get things done, the amazing staff that we have to navigate these individuals in a compassionate way. And we have so many stories that kind of replicate that, where you're running out of options, you're running out of hope, and there's this new kind of renewed life and renewed opportunity to live a lot longer and provide meaningful time and quality for these individuals. Because of the precision of these medications, right, they're getting this treatment and they are thriving after. They're not getting the treatment and feeling worse. And that's the big difference and why this is so amazing.
Why isn't it more widespread? Why isn't everyone doing this right now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely advancing, and it's very important for access across the whole country and world. We want as many centers as possible to be able to offer this. And so a lot of it tends to be infrastructure, knowledge, and experience, because it is something new, and it was only available via clinical trials just less than about 2 years ago. And so it is something new, and there is a lot of motivation and momentum for additional centers to kind of be a part of these therapies and participate. But that's why we're here. With Dr. Chain's experience historically and having that foresight to where we are today and setting up Banff and the state of Michigan and beyond for success, to be ready with boots on the ground to hit the ground running when this was approved is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's exactly what Banff mission and why I started Banff almost 80 years ago, because we foresee this is coming, and also we understand why this is not thriving. It's literally we don't have infrastructures. This is a brand new field of medicine. The drug we're using is called radiopharmaceuticals or radioactive drugs. The difference between these type of drugs compared to conventional drug is conventional drug can stay, the shelf life is about 2 years, 3 years. Radioisotope decays. Some of the drug we're using only have 2 minutes half-life. So how are we going to manufacture a wide variety of these type of drugs at a commercial scale, at an affordable price, and be able to deliver to the patients on time? We need a brand new technology infrastructure to do that, and we just don't have that at that time. And we also need a brand new facility in order to scan large amount of patients and also treat a large amount of patients, because every single patient after being injected, they're radioactive too. So there are a lot of regulatory issues we need to figure out and integrate it into our facility design to protect the safety of our patients and our staff, and also don't jeopardize the experience and the outcome. On top of that is also, this is a brand new medicine. There's a lot of knowledge we need to learn about it, and a lot of clinical trial we need to do. So overall, that's why we decided that time, we need to be that group to start to figure out all this technology needed, figure out all those kind of knowledge about how to design, how to build, and how to operate this kind of brand new center and infrastructures around nation. Only when we have this kind of infrastructure, then we can bring this drug, offer this technology to wide variety, to the patients who need it. So very fortunate and grateful, and we have a great team over in Banff in West Michigan. Everybody share the same mindset, and they're all top-notch in their own field. We know when we get into this field, we're a challenge unknown, because nobody knows how to do it. Right. But the only thing we know, we need to figure these things out. And then so we did it. We built the very first and world most advanced comprehensive center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We opened the door August 2022, and we successfully operated for the past almost 2 years already. We set up several Michigan first, national first, and world first. And we're very proud of what we achieved. And the next phase is literally to share our knowledge and to offer it to more patients.
And I know you have a
Yeah.
vision about opening other centers. I even
Yes.
heard that 2 years ago with the
Yeah.
grand opening. You talked about wanting to possibly in Detroit and some
Yeah.
other parts of the state and the world. But as much as impressed as everyone should be with the work that you're doing, we know that you didn't do this alone. There were other Grand Rapids leaders, influencers who really helped. I think it was Mr. Meyer,
Yep.
Mr. Meyer, who went to
Yep.
Europe. To talk a little bit about some of the people who helped, because we want to
Yeah.
give them some shout outs as well.
Yes. Definitely it's not a person can
Yeah,
do
right.
this, right? So when I started by myself in 2016, one person said, hey, how a scientist can figure these things out, right? So so I actually started talking to a lot of people, and I gave a lot of talk to the academic center and the hospital doctors, and then Mr. Meyer get referred to me, say he may be a good candidate for this type of therapy. But I say we don't have these kind of things in the United States. We have to go to Germany. If you're willing, let's build a team and let's start to evaluate, and then let's go. So Mr. Meyer at that time, everybody knows his cancer coming back, but we cannot locate where the tumors are, and the options over there is pretty severe, have a pretty severe a side effect for that. So we use this technology quickly identify where exactly tumors are, and based on that information, we actually use this technology to zap the tumor out. And then so it's been almost 8 years, and he's still have a great life quality because from the cancer. So when we're in Germany, he talked about it that since we're in the best country in the world, why we don't have this in the United States? I say that's exactly what I'm trying to work on. This should not happen. And then so he said, let me know how we can help, and I want to make it available to everybody. And that's how we start working with each other, and he's a strong supporters to enable us to initiate all these kind of processes. So we're at the building we're located right now is called Doug Meyer Medical Innovation Building. It's literally come out from his support and also from the whole Meyer family.
And I heard him share that story publicly
Yeah.
as well. But stop and think about that. He's going through the worst time of his life, and once he's healed, rather than going on, he wants to stop and pause and say, I want to make this available for other people. I mean, that's so powerful.
It is.
And it's a lesson there for everybody to. And people want to take advantage of the work you're doing. And I know I don't want your door tomorrow. Everyone be calling BAMP saying, how do I get in? So tell folks how they get referred, or how do you decide which patients to work with?
Sure, yeah. I mean, truthfully, anybody that has a cancer diagnosis currently, or Alzheimer's, or some additional background medical conditions, there's a couple different ways. They can be a self-referral, and so they can go to our website and fill out a simple form there. They can ask for a referral from their primary care physician or any treating surgeon, oncologist, et cetera. And definitely can pick up and call us and see if they qualify for any type of therapies. But we're performing second opinion consultations, imaging and therapies when appropriate, just making sure that we're contributing, similar to Doug in his mission in giving back to others. We want to provide the most comprehensive information for each and every individual that could find value in speaking with us. So yeah.
And it's not covered by insurance.
So currently there are 2 FDA-approved medications, and all of our imaging will be covered by insurance if it's concordant with guidelines. And so those can all be through physician referrals for imaging, and then any type of therapies we order would be within our facility.
Now, you mentioned something all of this is very important and near and dear to our hearts, but Alzheimer's for older adults, and we hear and see that brain dementia, brain health, all of that. You're treating Alzheimer's as well with the same type of therapy?
So currently, right now, from an Alzheimer's perspective, we are imaging those individuals to assist their physicians, because there's a recently FDA-approved medication to help.
Yes.
And so we're making sure that we have the safest and best imaging to provide the most comprehensive information to assist their physicians at their home institution or center to understand if they're a candidate.
Yeah, so I mean, just for Alzheimer's disease specifically, I mean, it's a big problem for the nation for a long time. And actually think we're going to have a 10 million Alzheimer patient by 2030. That's in 6 million. Fortunately, last summer, the very first Alzheimer drug get approved by FDA. However, the insurance company and the CMS actually require the patients to either do a PET imaging or spinal tap to qualify for the reimbursement for this kind of treatment. And we all know that the spinal tap is kind of invasive and it's not a pleasant procedure. However, for PET imaging, it's also not widely available to the majority of patients. So and that's what BANF's mission is. So since last summer, we learned this drug is available, it's approved, and the CMS required this kind of service. We quickly bring this kind of a service online to make sure all the Alzheimer patients who need this kind of treatment, they can come to our center to have this kind of scan. So we're one of a few centers in state of Michigan can offer the consistently like a large volumes of the high quality Alzheimer's scan for patients to qualify a patient for this kind of treatment.
So people just need to ask their primary physician
Yes.
for that referral to make sure
Yeah.
they get the scan, and,
Yeah.
and then they can pinpoint what's going on, what's happening. Yeah.
And another things we're trying to tackle besides trying to offer the best care technology to the patient, it's also the best experience and the process to the patients. Right now, the constant problem is that when you're trying to schedule for this kind of advanced scan, because logistics not there, usually it's 4 to 6 weeks away, and takes another maybe 4 weeks to get a report back. And then so overall, it's 2 or 3 months away from the order to you got a report
Right.
and for the next steps.
Right.
We're using a lot of process and technology to fix that. So over here, we ask our team, usually like as long as you got the order and also get the insurance pre-approved, and which we will help you to work on that, we can scan you the next day.
Wow.
And the last day usually around 3 to 5 days, you're gonna get your report back.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can start moving to the next phase as soon as possible, because we know for cancer patients, especially end-stage cancer patients, every day counts.
You're right.
Right? 2 or 3 months can make a huge difference on disease progress over there. So that's what we offer over there, is not only on the technology medicine, but also the experience and operation.
My heart is beating fast. Thank you. I was so excited, and I'm so inspired by the work that you're doing. We could just go on and on. We have to have you all back as well.
Would
And
love
maybe
to.
we'll have a little
Yeah.
audience in here, and they can ask you a few questions as well sometime. But thank you so much. I know you're looking for talent all the time, and you like to talk about education systems and how we need to change that so that we can get the kind of expertise and talent
Yep.
that's needed to keep this going. I appreciate you. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for watching Real Possibilities. Talking about transportation with CATA. Thank you for being here, Lolo. Appreciate you being here today. A lot of times people have mobility issues and they can't access CATA, regular CATA vehicle the way that other folks can. What options do they have?
So all of our buses are equipped with wheelchair lifts and access for those who are, mobility challenged and need some assistance in terms of boarding and alighting from a vehicle.
And if they didn't want to ride a regular CATA bus, there are other options as well, but they'd have to schedule those?
That's correct. They can call our paratransit dispatcher and get those trips scheduled, and that service is, again, curb to curb, arrives right at your doorstep, and you board the bus and it takes you right where you need to go.
And so what's the difference in cost and convenience between the regular CATA bus and using the mobility accessible wheelchair ramp or the curb to curb? What's the difference?
Fixed route buses are the most affordable. It's either $1.25 per trip in one direction or 60 cents if you qualify, if you're eligible for it. The other option is Spectran, and that is $2.50 per one-way trip.
That's very reasonable, particularly with the cost of gas. So when you say 60 cents, what's the difference between if I qualify for the 60 cents ride versus the $1.25 ride?
So in terms of our conversation today, 60 cents would be applicable to senior riders, and they would just need to get a CATA card, CATA Club card, and that would be what they show the operator when they board the bus.
Excellent.
And they get that 60-cent fare.
We need to make certain that people know about that. And so the senior is starting at what age? 45?
65.
50? Oh, okay. I was just
Yeah.
at 65 years old. All right. So that's news that you can use from CATA. Thank you for being here today. Chris, welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. You've been involved with financial planning for almost 19 years. What are some of the major questions that people should ask when they're looking for a financial planner or when they're talking with their financial planner?
Yeah, well, one of the big things is trying to figure out what does that financial planner focus on. We really focus on retirement and legacy planning. So there's different types of financial planners out there. But probably the biggest question is whether they're a fiduciary. So are they acting in the client's best interest? Because everyone that says that they're a financial advisor, they might not be a fiduciary. There's people that just sell insurance products. So it's very important that if you're working with a financial advisor that they're a certified financial planner and also that they're a fiduciary.
And when you say that they are a fiduciary, what exactly does that mean?
Yep. So a fiduciary is someone that has to act in the best interest of their clients. There's a lot of financial advisors that aren't fiduciaries. They just have to sell something that's suitable. So it's no different than walking into a butcher shop. They're going to sell you a piece of meat. Versus my role as a fiduciary is I might be saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't walk into the butcher shop. Maybe you should go have a salad.
You know, that's interesting because you take that for granted, that they're going to be looking out for your best interest, but that's not necessarily the case.
Right, yeah. And so that's where you need to make sure that they're a certified financial planner and they're acting as a fiduciary.
And what's one of the questions that you can ask them to make certain they're operating in your best interest?
Well, you can ask them that direct question of, are they a certified financial planner? Because if they are, they're going to have that designation next to their name, CFP.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you being here today.
Hello, I'm Dr. June with Great Lakes Center of Rheumatology. Today I'd like to talk about a topic that gets missed quite a bit: dental hygiene and how it relates to arthritis and autoimmune diseases. You might not know this, but what goes on in your mouth and keeping your mouth clean is actually directly related to the amount of inflammation that can happen in the rest of your body. It can affect your joints, your heart, and even your lungs. It's extremely important to have very good dental hygiene. See your dentist on a regular basis. Take care of any cavities. And if unfortunately you need a tooth pulled for one reason or another, do get that done. It's been shown to reduce the amount of inflammation in your body dramatically once you can clear out some of those infections and other problems that you have with your dental hygiene. So it's my recommendation that you very much have a very good program at home of dental care. You see your dentist on a regular basis. And you bring it up with your doctor as well. If you believe that you have a problem with your dentition, you have a cavity, you have pain in your mouth or something, don't just ignore it, but really focus on taking care of your teeth and making sure that you have good health inside of your mouth. Another topic people ask then is, well, I don't have a dentist or I can't afford that. Well, there are programs available. Please ask your doctor about that, and a lot of them will be able to help you to find services and resources so that you can get the dental care that you need. Finally, the foods that you eat, the amount of sugars that you put in your diet have a direct effect. So please avoid processed sugars. Rinse your mouth after eating anything that's sweet or sugary. And remember, brush often, regularly, and floss. Thank you.
There was such critical information shared today. Please don't keep it to yourself, but make certain that you share that information with someone else, because this is news that people can use. Thanks for watching.